y'all. So we're going to be doing something that we haven't done on this channel in a while. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice, and today we are going to be making these sublimation photo ornaments. And aren't they so cute? I used the same picture. What's good about today is that I had a slight hiccup, and so we are actually going to be doing a little comparison of the Epson EcoTank 15,000 and also the Sawgrass SG500, and you'll be able to see how I messed one up. I got the colors all off, but what I did to make sure that the colors are right. So you want to stick around for that. Let's get started. All right, guys, so it is that time of the year, and we're going to be subbing these ornaments, and these are perfect for photo ornaments or any ornaments that you want to add your own special image to. You can sub onto both sides. Now, you want to make sure you measure your circles, just like any other ornaments like this. You want to always make sure that you measure it correctly so that you can print out the proper size sublimation image to go on it. So this isn't quite 2 inches. It's about 1 3/4 inches about, but I'll probably make it a little bit longer. Well, it's a little wider than 1 3/4 inches. That's about right there. So we'll print this out, but you always want to make sure that you're measuring your substrate. The ornament also came with these red strings, and the red strings are perfect for going on the inside of the ornament. Well, not on the inside, but on the inside of this little hole there. And so once you sub it, we're going to put it together, but your photo will go right there on the inside. And then we're going to place the other part here. And then so the string is to kind of make sure that it stays together. However, I would recommend just putting a little bit of something to seal the outside if you don't plan on ever opening it again. So let's get ready to sub our photo ornament. All right, y'all, so now we're inside of Adobe Illustrator, and we are simply going to be placing a photo inside of a circle so that we can press it onto the center of the ornament. So I'm just going to head over to the side. We're going to select the shapes, and we're going to place a circle on the canvas. So we're going to choose the ellipse tool. I'm going to click here, and I need to make this 1.875. That is the size of the circle. Now, if you want a little bit of overage, a little bit of bleed, you can by making it a 2x2, but I'm just going to make it a 1.875. And you can do this inside of any design software. It does not have to be Adobe Illustrator. You can create a mask on top of your photo in order to get the shape of the circle. So here we're going to be doing it this way, where I'm actually going to be placing, Adobe really wants me to try their AI feature. So let's go ahead. We're going to actually make a duplicate copy of the circle. I'm holding down my Option key, and I'm just left clicking onto my mouse pad and dragging over to create that duplicate circle. And we are then going to begin the process of importing the photos. So I'm just going to double click the circle because I want to draw inside of the circle, and that's to place the photo on the inside. Now I'm going to go to place, go to file, and then place, and we're going to place it right on the inside. That is it. And so I'm just going to resize the photo because it's inside, it's within the circle, but it's the size, the exact size. So I need to make that smaller so that it can actually fit into that tiny circle. Right, so all I'm doing is I'm still working on the inside, and I'm just making this a little bit smaller so we can both be seen in this circle in our ornament to go on our tree. Make it just a tad smaller. And I want to get all of my daughter. You can get a little bit of my face, but I like this like this. All right, so this is going to be one side of the ornament. Remember, the ornament is double-sided. So I'm just going to double click here, and I want to remove that border. I don't want that black border, so I just remove the border. So I'm going to do the same thing and bring in another photo. All right, so we're going to get ready to print this out on our printer. I'm going to head up to File, and again, this is going to be printed on a Sublimation printer. I'm going to select Print, and of course I just need to make sure my page is set up correctly. Today we are going to let's use our Sawgrass SG500, which is a sublimation printer. Now I'm just going to go to Setup. We're going to click Continue, and I am going to head to Layout, and then we're going to flip it horizontally. Now we're going to select Print. Alright guys, so I ended up printing this out on the Sawgrass SG500 and also the Epson 15000, so we'll get a chance to see how they compare. Alright guys, so we have our two ornament stuffers or insides, and here are the two different prints. This is from the Sawgrass, this is from the Epson EcoTank 15000. And so since I went ahead and printed both of them out from each printer, we're going to go ahead and press them. So I am just going to remove the clear protective film on the top, and it's actually on both sides of the ornament. All right, so now we're going to press or cut the Sawgrass printed version, and I am going to save this piece of paper because this is a lot of paper to waste, and we can definitely sub on that bottom part, especially when I have other projects like this that are small. That works just fine. All right, so on the back of the Sawgrass ones, I'm going to put an S so that I can remember when we take it off. And on the back of the Epsons, I'm going to put an E. All right, so we have our S's and our E's, and let's get ready to press. So the first picture that we're going to go with is this one. And there is a noticeable difference. And I do want to say with the Sawgrass, I did not print from the Sawgrass website or the Sawgrass software. I printed directly from Adobe Illustrator. So that could be why the color is like that. But here are the two different versions. This is way too much, but we're going to press it anyway. All right, so we have our heat tape. And so I am going to take the heat tape, and I am just going to match this up, and we're going to wrap it around just like this. And we're going to do the same thing for the Sawgrass. We're going to take our image, place it face down, line it up, and then I'm just going to place heat tape so that it can stay in place. All right, so we're going to press both of these at the same time. Let's head over to the heat press. All right, guys, we're going to get ready to press, and I'm going to place a piece of butcher paper on top of the heat press. The heat press is set to 385 degrees, and it's going to go for 45 seconds. You also want to make sure you adjust the pressure. If you have this type of heat press or any other type of heat press, make sure that you have the correct pressure. And we are going to get ready to press these. move it over or up. And when you're pressing, you want to make sure that it is photo or image side up like this. If the image is onto the plate, but you don't want to press it where the image is at the bottom. The image needs to be at the top so that it's making contact with your heat press. All right, it's all done. I'm going to check. And it's always good to have on heat gloves. I know I don't have on heat gloves, but this will be very, very hot. And this is the Sawgrass. All right, this is the Sawgrass version. All right, came out pretty good. And now let's see what the Epson version looks like. Definitely less red. And that really probably just means I need to print from the Sawgrass, because the one from the Epson is definitely perfect. You see the difference. So y'all know I'm going to have to print out another one of these to give Sawgrass a fair shot. All right, so the Epson looks really, really good. All right, guys, so here are the two different photos. I'm going to go ahead and print out again on Sawgrass just to make sure that this is, correct. But this looks good. I'm going to place these face down. And we are then going to place the other image on top. I'm going to place this one here. And this one here. And we are going to apply the heat tape. And when this is pressing, I'm going to print again from the Sawgrass. But this time, I'm going to use the Sawgrass website. All right, we're going to head back over to the heat press and press these next two. All right, y'all, so we're back at the heat press, and I'm going to place these in so that we can press them, okay? So again, make sure you have butcher paper, especially at the bottom now, because you have this printed out on this side and you don't want that ink to go onto the bottom of your plate. So butcher paper is mandatory on the bottom. Let's go ahead and give this another press. So that is all set. Let me put my gloves on because y'all, it was hot the last time. I'm not used to this. I haven't been subbing that much as I used to. And so my whole fingers aren't used to it. All right, so let's go ahead. This is the S for Sawgrass. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the tape. Yeah, definitely a lot of red tints in this one. So I didn't adjust the settings much inside of Adobe Illustrator for this print. So we definitely need to give this a fair chance, okay? So I'm going to put that down. And I don't know what I'm going to do with all these ornaments of us, but I could always give it away to my grandma. She'll like it. All right, so I'm removing this one. This is the Epson print. All right, I could just pulled it. And this one looks really good. I don't know how I was taping this, y'all, but nonetheless, it's in there. But this looks amazing. All right, so here's the difference of the two again. And so this was the Epson, this was the Sawgrass. So I'm about to print out another Sawgrass. I'm going to press it and then come back to y'all so y'all can see what that looks like printing from the Sawgrass software. All right, guys, so I'm about to print from the print manager for Sawgrass. This is here done, opened up. Let me click up there. And the image that we're going to be doing is right here. All right, so we're going to be using TruePix Classic. We need it to be mirrored, high quality. We're not printing onto slate. We're actually printing onto MDF board. I'm going to select MDF board, and we have, let's make sure the layout is good. Everything looks good. the paper size I'm using is actually going to be an 8.5 by 11 today. And we jogged, everything else looks good. This is the size that we need it to be, photographic. You can always alter between photographic and vivid. We're going to stick with photographic though. So we're going to stick with photographic. Okay, and so now we're going to select print. Alright, so here it's printing out actually for the third time because the second print that I did with it, it did not print in the correct area, and so it cut off some of the image. So I just went ahead and printed it out in the center, and already it looks a lot better. It already looks a lot better.
Now I'm preparing the blanks, and I'm doing exactly what I did before. I always forget, at least at the last minute, to remove the clear plastic protective film on top. So make sure that you don't do that. Whenever you have any of these types of blanks, make sure that you check it, especially if it's the MDF wood board. Make sure that you check it. So everything's prepared. Now I'm ready to press it. Make sure you use butcher paper on the bottom and also butcher paper on the top. That's very important so that you don't so you mess up your heat press.
Wow. This looks good. Let's get rid of that and we'll get ready to press the other side. So this is what this looks like now, and this is the Sawgrass print. And of course we're going to compare it, but it looks awesome now. So I brought the heat tape over here so that we could go ahead and place this side. So I need to remember how this is going to go. So this is the front, and I'm just making sure that I have it aligned the right way. Okay, and so I'm touching this, but y'all, this MDF is still very much so hot. So working with MDF, just know that it's nice and heated. Okay, so I have that first side on. Now I'm going to get ready to tape the other side. And we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to press this in here like this. We're going to place this here. And if you notice, I'm making sure that that bottom is protected. And I'm going to press it again. And see what it looks like. Yes, I know it would be stuck on here because that tape was exposed a little bit, but that's fine. So the first side looks amazing. And let's see with that second side. And if you notice, that is not causing any of that ink to come off of that side. And I can tell already by the lack of ink how faded it is that this side is going to look pretty good. And it does. Like, this is really, really true to color, true to the picture, and it looks amazing. Okay guys, so we are all done, and these are the two that I printed using our Sawgrass printer. And I just want to show you the difference of printing from the software, the Sawgrass software, and printing from Adobe Illustrator and not adjusting anything. So sometimes the print, it's your settings. So when you don't have a good print, you definitely have to check your settings. But this is the difference. This is from the Sawgrass design software, and this was from Adobe Illustrator, where I had not adjusted any of the color settings or anything. Within the Sawgrass software, I don't have to adjust any of the settings at all. I just have to tell it what we're printing on, and this is the difference from the other side. So this is what it should look like, but this is what I printed and pressed. Okay, same paper used, the True Pick Sawgrass paper, same paper, everything used. So now let's compare the Epson and Sawgrass. So this again is the Sawgrass, and this is the Epson. So I still think the Sawgrass beat out the Epson because the colors actually look more like this picture than they do this picture. And this is the other, come on, this is the other side. And of course, I still think the Sawgrass is more true to the actual color. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to put this together. And of course I'm using all three because we can still use this one. And I can give that to my grandma, or I'll keep this one better. We're going to push it in here like this. Make sure it's nice and snug. And then you're going to place the other one on. Make sure it's aligned. And there you have it. Now, if you wanted to put like some dust or some fake snow dust inside, you could make it look a little snowy or Christmassy. You can. If you want to put, this is a fairly small ball, but if you wanted to put maybe initials or maybe put like some stickers or vinyl on it, you could do that as well. But now I'm just going to put the ribbon in. And you can also put your own ribbon. You don't necessarily have to use this ribbon, but this is the ribbon that comes with it. And you can make a bow. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other two. All right, y'all. So we are all done, and these came out great. Even the one where the color is off a little bit, I still like it. And listen, it is going on someone's tree, so I'm very happy with them. But these are super cute. If you are interested in getting any of these, a link will be listed below in the description. But y'all, I love how these turned out, and so I do think that the Epson EcoTank 15,000 did great. The colors looked amazing, but I think that the Sawgrass SG500 is spot on 100% with the colors, especially once I printed from the Sawgrass software. So when your printer or your prints aren't coming out as expected, always check your settings just to make sure, because as you all saw, the same ink, same printer with the Sawgrass, but one printed out good, the other printed out with a little bit too much red when I was printing from Adobe Illustrator. But everything looks great, and I love how these turned out. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you are not already a subscriber here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join the Craftable Things communities there as well. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.